I don't need you seeing my whole kitchen.
Let's see.
It's I think it's your camera. Yep, it's all your camera. You only got it on that one. Cause at first it was like a couple of them. Oh shit, y'all, we back. What's up, man?
What it do?
I know our audience is like, y'all lame. I know, y'all, let's keep it
Where
real.
you been?
Life happens, things happen in life. You got to take the time out to
Boy,
assess
where you been?
your, I don't know, man. You just got to take the time out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We just all got to take the time out sometimes, and gather your thoughts, gather your resources, gather your
reevaluate your life,
reevaluate everything. And so that's what we've had to take some time out to do. But we're back, and we promise to come to y'all every Wednesday live. I'm not gonna even say no specific time because life starts life, and then I tell you I'll be on here on a specific time, and I don't make it. I'm a woman of my word, so I'm gonna always do things that I say I'm gonna do. At any rate. How you doing today, Mr. Seagraves?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm pretty good. I won't complain. How's life been treating you?
Woo, life has been definitely lifing.
It happens.
And it gets hard. It gets hard. It gets frustrating. You get a little down. You get a little depressed. You have a little mental anguish, but you just got to keep fighting. You got to be that tree that is planted by the river.
Oh, I like that. That's dope. Y'all, today is my firstborn's 21st birthday, and I just want to shout her out. Happy birthday, Diaja. I love you with all my heart. I love you more than life itself. I can't wait to see you next week. Turn up.
Happy birthday, Diaja. So, man, just getting back in the hood of things and trying to understand this thing called life. I just turned 50.
Woo. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give me some sugar.
And I don't know how I feel right now. I'm just happy to be alive. Thank God that I'm alive. And the test we go through is allow us to have our testimony. You know what?
This is true. There is no testimony without the test, right? That's where that word comes from, in my opinion, is the test.
Okay.
And everything in life you do is going to test you.
And I know you guys are out there getting tested right now because the world is just very different now. And boy, we're just trying to put it together the best way we can. And all parents, all adults, children alike, everybody's having a hard time, man. And this is the time to find your tribe. This is the time to find out who you are, if you haven't found out who you are, and to be yourself. And being yourself is the best thing to be, and sometimes it's the hardest thing to be, because when you're yourself, you're ousted. A lot of people don't want to deal with you when you're yourself. They want you to conform to others' ways. They want you to conform to the politics. They want you to conform to all these isms. They want you to conform to everything but the right thing. And everything right now that is wrong is right, and everything is right is wrong. And I'm just tired of it. I just wish that everybody would understand that together we can do so much greater in this world than being separated. What do you think, babe?
I just feel like it's a trying time for everybody right now. Because me personally, just to be a little, I don't know. My mom is going through some things. She's really sick right now. And so I know that there's a lot of people battling cancer, battling, whatever their thing is, they're battling it right now. And so to me, we just need to stand together instead of standing apart and always feeling like we can do it by ourselves. Sometimes there's a lot of things we can't do by ourselves, but until we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and open up to people around us, to family members, friends, whomever it may be, your church congregation, whomever, and let them in and allow them to help you go through what you're going through. Because if you try to do it by yourself, to me, it'll tear you down. You know what I'm saying?
Break you down.
So Woo. I'm just one of them people. I am super sensitive. I've always been super sensitive my whole life, but I put up this hard exterior. I put up this tough exterior to keep myself from getting hurt, because growing up, my feelings got hurt a lot with words, with actions. I got hurt a lot. So with me being so sensitive and also by the same token being hard, it's not working. It didn't work for me. So I thank God for being in a place with a mate who has allowed me to be my ultimate self without having to hide myself, without having to guard myself anymore. I am so open with him. I'm so honest with him. I'm just vulnerable with him. I'm like putty in his hands. And I thank God for him coming into my life and allowing me to live in this soft girl era. Because all of y'all that know me know that I've always been this tough, very tough, outgoing female, but I've stood on principles, and I always stand on what I believe in. So, to answer his question, I just feel like if we start leaning on each other a little bit more, and I know not a lot of people are trustworthy. There's not a lot of trustworthy people that are in your lives. And I understand that. But at the same time, it's like you have to, like my husband said, you got to find your tribe, and you have to find those that are trustworthy. I've had a friend open up to me recently about some things that she's going through with her health. I don't tell a soul. I don't tell nobody. That's not my business. All I do is pray for her. Every time she finds the willingness in her heart to pick up the phone and call me, hey, Tutu, I told you I was going to let you know what's going on. This is what the doctors are saying, blah, 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 blah. As soon as I get off the phone with her, I pray for her. And maybe I should start praying with her instead of praying for her from now on. When she calls me and she opens up, I'm gonna tell her, hey, before we get off the phone, let me pray for you. Let's pray together. Because I feel like certain people, they need trustworthy individuals in their life that they can count on to help them bear the weight of the cross that they're carrying right now, y'all. All of us are going through things, and whether or not you want to open up and and talk about the things that you're going through, it doesn't change what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? And so myself personally, I just thank my husband, and I thank my family. My oldest brother has really been there for me here lately. Me and him, we had a point in our relationship where we fell out, but we've gotten back around to the old relationship that we used to have. And I just thank God for that, because each one of my brothers means something different to me. I grew up in a household where I was only female, and I had 3 brothers. Technically 4, because Rodney was like a brother. He grew up like a brother with us too, because anywhere we were, he was there too. So technically I had 4 brothers, but 3 that I can rely on: Derek, Randy, and Jason. For each one of those brothers, they mean something different to me. So I'm pretty sure any of y'all that grew up in a household with siblings, and there's more than 2 or 3 of y'all understand what I'm saying when I say each sibling means something different to y'all. First of all, each sibling has a different personality. Second of all, each sibling has their own strong traits. Third of all, you rely and you talk to each sibling for who they are to you, and they're able to reciprocate that love back to you. So I just wanted to tell y'all that, don't give up, keep going, stay strong, keep the faith. And now more than ever, you know what I'm saying? Just do what you got to do to make sure that your family is taken care of.
And mental health is real. With everything that she just said, you have to be able to clear your mind and decompress from everything that is going on in your life. We're all dealing with some family members that are ill, whether they're dealing with cancer, dementia, diabetes, lupus, arthritis. There's so many terminal things out there now that are attacking our families. And we have to be prayed up, and we have to be strong, and we have to be able to lean on one another. And we have to come together and understand that we can only make it if we try to build this bond and unity together. And quit fighting one another, and quit arguing, and quit trying to big ups, or what do they say? Up one another. It is time for unity. It is time to band together and get things on a forefront to where you can be honest, where you can be trusted, where people can lean on you. And this world that we live in with the economics that we're going through, no one is talking about ownership no more. Everybody is renting. And it's time out. Stop renting. Get to ownership. Band your people together, and y'all all come together and get a plot of land. And that way you all can build generational wealth, save money, and have something to do and somewhere to go. And put all y'all money into one basket. Creating generational wealth. Putting your insurance together and making sure that when people pass away, that it's going to the trust. Build your trust up. It doesn't take a lot of money. It just takes time, effort, getting organized, and having that responsibility and that talk with one another, because we're all born to die. And in the Black community, more so to speak, we don't like to talk about death, and we don't like to prepare for death. And when our people die and they leave, most of the time, they don't leave wills, they leave bills. And nobody wants bills. But if that person is properly construct a will and
your trust more
so to speak, then you will be leaving something for your kids. The Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children's children. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to leave, well, we're trying to leave something for our children's children's children. I was fortunate enough to have a grandmother and grandfather that left land, gave land to me even before they passed away. And this land been in my family since 1895. So just imagine how long that's been. And what my grandmother 4 times over had to go through, what she endured in order to get this land, because she was an enslaved woman. And to buy this property at $50 in 1895.
She thought futuristically. She thought for her future. She was setting up the precedents for her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, her great-great-grandchildren to have something to call their own.
And who am I? I'm the great grandchild.
Right. And so with that being said, you know, our family is doing the same thing. When I say our family, meaning me and you, and in the process of us trying to make sure that we're implementing these things, we have kids that are alive right now that get upset with us or get angry with us because we can't do for them right now, because they're not trying to take the time to understand our future goal. Only thing they're looking at is what they see right now. And oh, y'all got this, and oh, y'all got that. And they feel like they're due it. They feel like we owe it to them. But not one of our kids has came to us and said, hey, let me help work to get this with y'all. Let me come sit up under y'all to understand what it is that y'all are trying to do and understand how I could be utilized in the situation, trying to help y'all going forward. Everybody just has their hand out, and when they can't get what they want, now they're angry with us. Now they're talking shit about us behind our backs. Now they're putting all of our business out there to people who they feel like can hurt us, or, you know, just out there with nasty attitudes. And to me, I'm the type of person to where I forgive, right? But I can never forget the things that you're doing to be so hurtful. Because the people out there in the streets, y'all show them so much love. Ooh. The people out there who mean y'all harm, y'all show them so much love. The people who dog y'all on a regular, y'all come back and forgive them like it ain't nothing, and show them so much love. But then y'all come back to the parents who are trying to set this thing up for y'all to make sure that we have things in our trust going forward to where y'all are taking care of, y'all's kids are taking care of, y'all's kids are taken care of. Y'all hate us. Y'all show nothing but deceit and just downright nastiness towards us. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. But at the same time, I'm not a part of their generation. And to me, this generation is so entitled. They're so spoiled. They don't want to have to work for shit. They think everything's supposed to be handed to them. And when you don't hand it to them, now they hate you. Now they talk about you in a negative way. Now they put everybody in your business.
I really don't care about them talking about me no more.
You don't, but it's the reality of the situation.
At the end of the day, everybody right now that are our age,
under our umbrella, or what?
That are our age, they're going through that with their children. You know, this is across the board. It doesn't have a color barrier. It's white, black, Mexican, Hispanic, whatever you may be. These kids are going through that, and they don't understand that you have to buy in and build in to have something. Everybody has to be bringing a profit into the trust in order to sustain the trust, in order to create your own banking system, in order to create wealth. It just can't be mom and dad, especially if you have multiple children and all your children are grown. All children need to be putting into it. You have to put into something to get something out of it. 401k, what do you have to do? You have to put into it to get something out of it.
Right.
You go to work. You have to put the work in order to get paid at the end of the week. You know, in order to put something in order to eat, you have to put something in the oven, let it cook for a time, then bring it out to eat. And that's where we have to build these business models to teach our kids or our children on how to sustain this life that they want. You have to build a life you want. You just can't think it in the mind and it's going to come. You have to think it, put action to it, and make it happen.
This is so true. This is very true.
You know, and sometimes we have to let our kids just go out there and roll free willy-nilly to bump their heads, because a lot of times when we were kids, we didn't see the vision, or we didn't see what our parents was talking about. But we always still gave that respect to our parents.
That's it.
We understood that our parents paid the bills. We understood that our parents clothed us. We understood that our parents took care of everything for us. But when it was time for us to work, we went to work. We went to work and we learned how to save money. We learned how to spend our money. Getting clothes. When you worked in the summer, we had some summer programs, JTPA, Job Trainer Partnership Act. We had all these different co-ops that we could go to work with. We had summer programs that would allow us to go to work and be able to help buy clothes because times were hard back then. And times are even harder now. So kids now, they don't want to work. They look at the internet like people are looking at us now and thinking they can get rich quick overnight. And you can't. And those that are getting rich overnight, it comes with a cost. And I would rather die than to sell my soul. Because once you sell your soul, you don't own yourself anymore. And all these people that are out there that are millionaire playing like they millionaires, they're really not millionaires, and they don't sleep good at night. And they don't have people that's in their corner that are trustworthy, and they can't go to anybody. And that's why they popping perk 30s. That's why they drinking themselves to death on whatever substance that they're taking in order to get through the next day. Mm-hmm. And people that are out there looking and listening, you know what I'm talking about, especially coming up in the crack era. If you wasn't using crack, you were selling crack. And if you wasn't using or selling crack, you was smoking marijuana, you was drinking, and you was tearing up your DNA because now you use it as a suppressant. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just saying today that we living in a hard time, like the Bible said. We living in perilous times, and people are waxing worse and worse and worse. Or is worse a word, or is it just worse?
You just made it one.
I just want to be
politically correct. Look, worser. I don't think that's the word. I think it's just worse. But it may be worser. Okay. I think it may be. I don't know.
Okay, but you feel what I'm saying? And we have to come together and understand that we have to find our tribe, build our tribe, make our tribe what it needs to be, and get along.
This is true.
Because sometimes our kids may not come back on the road for some time. And in the Bible, it says, train up a child in the way he should go. And when they get grown, it will not depart. We don't know how long, what it takes to be grown.
So aside from that, because we touched on that a little bit, husband, as a husband, what do you need from me right now as a wife?
I get everything I need from you. I get moral support. You're my counselor. You're my confidant. When I'm down, you lift me up. When I'm sad, you make me happy. Although that I'm supposed to make myself happy, and I do. But sometimes you get down and, that's what you need your tribe for. You need your mate for to help lift you up.
That's beautiful.
When you're down, you need to be lifted up, and when you're wrong, you need to be corrected. So when I'm wrong, you help correct me, not in the public, but in private, as things should go. You don't run the streets with your thugs. You don't have a whole bunch of girlfriends in your ear talking about he ain't no good or he could be doing better. You maintain a house. You're a loving, caring wife. Even though times get hard. But money can't buy integrity. Money don't buy love. I think the Beatles said that once before. Money can't buy you love, and it can't. And I wouldn't trade your love for the world.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that, but
I wouldn't. Why would I switch out my dime for a penny? Can't. Although men love women, because men do love women. But we ain't trading our wife for nothing. You hear me? It's okay to look. Just don't touch.
I respect that. I respect that. So I see that you have your Bible open. Did you have a certain particular verse that you wanted to go to for the people, or did you have really something that you wanted to pull from your Bible?
I was just saying that like a while ago, just being a vessel by water that's gonna forever get fed, and that's all I want to be. I just want to continue to inspire people, even if they tell me I don't inspire them, or if they tell me they do. I just want to be an inspiration. I want to leave my mark on this world. I want people to say when they see my name or I'm mentioned, they'll say that's a good dude. That's a solid dude. He looked out for people. He helped people. He was a service to someone. And that's what it's all about, is servitude. You have to be able to serve to be a good boss, to be a good king, to be a good master.
To be a good leader.
To be a good... I don't like leader. I used to love to say leader, but you know, you can't lead anybody that don't want to be led.
This is true. You may not like the word leader, but you're a leader in all
I,
sorts of the
I
words.
accept
You
it.
don't have to like something in order for it to be true. You don't have to like something in order for it to be valid. You don't have to like something in order for it to be things that describe you.
Just
You're
the
a
messenger.
leader, messenger, leader, whatever you want to call it. You know, whatever terminology you want to use that makes you feel good, it doesn't matter. You're still a leader.
And so, you know, and I know I have my Bible open, I do. And the Most High, Allah says that He will teach me to be a fisherman of men. And so I guess that's the calling for me to be a fisherman of men and lead men to the righteous way. Because if I was living a straight life and got on track and can do better, I feel like everybody in the world can do better.
It's dope.
I feel like everybody has a second chance, sometimes even a third chance, because you very seldom get a second chance. But some of us have had third chances, fourth chances. And they say the just man falls 7 times, but you just got to get up. So I'm getting up again, dusting it off, trying to make things happen.
With that being said, did you notice there's a lot of people that look at you and they judge your life on who you used to be and what you used to do? And the reason why I say that is because, you know, there's just the way of social media. You know, you put out there to social media what you want to put out there to social media. You know, we don't all share every little piece of our life. We just share the pieces of our lives that we want to make be made public.
Mhm.
With that being said, you got some people that'll get on your page right now. But girl, do you know she used to so and so and so and I just it's funny to me because I know that that's the way of the world. But y'all are so busy judging me about my past or judging me from my past. I would just appreciate for people to get to know who I am today because I've been out of Texas for 5 years. And before I left Texas, those 5 years, I stopped hanging out with a lot of people. I didn't have very many friends. I had a whole bunch of associates, but I didn't have just nobody that I would just tap in with every day.
I think though, really and truthfully, we have graduated so far from that.
From what?
Caring what the ideal people have in their head about us.
Okay.
You know?
I just feel like it's a part of being a human. You know, you could say you've graduated from it, but at the same time, I'm still a human with real emotions and real feelings. So you can speak for yourself when you say that you've graduated from it.
Okay.
But me, I'm just going to be honest and open.
Because
I'm not going to say I still care about what people say, but I still catch wind of what's being said. I still hear certain things of what people are saying. Not saying that I care, because if I cared, I'd check it. But it doesn't stop the fact of what, you know, the conversation that goes on around you is all I'm saying.
I feel what you're saying, and I definitely understand. And I believe that if it's said to you in your face from that person,
I can respect it.
You can respect it and you can check it.
Mm-hmm. But if it's brought
a lot of times people bring things just to get a reaction, and it very well may not even be true. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And people just that's something. One thing about the internet is that people can fabricate pages. People can do slugs, shoot they slugs, and they can portray to be a lot of things that they're not. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's one thing about the internet. It's like the army. People can be all they want to be.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you loud and clear.
And that's why you're seeing more and more people that are maturing and understanding and are moving up out of the matrix. They don't care. They get on there and they celebrate whatever it is they want to celebrate, that tad bit, and then they move on. And only giving a person enough just to see these small accomplishments. And let's just say for us, so to speak, you and I, because it's our show, Seagraves says, where me personally, I used to put everything on there, you know, whether it was me picking up loads, dropping off loads, going on a trail, just a whole bunch of things. And so I found out that it don't matter if you're doing good or doing bad. People are going to talk about you. People are going to find a reason to not like you. People are going to find a reason to discredit you. So as long as you keep your life private and you get intertwined with people that are going in the same places, it doesn't matter, because people that are going places don't have time to talk about people.
That's a good way to think about it.
People that are doing things that are constructive, that is of value, they don't have time to talk about minute BS.
Okay.
They don't. You know, we build around people that are doing certain things that let's say they're building homes, or they're building foundations, or they're running for city council, or they are heading up nonprofit organizations. You don't hear those people talking about nobody else. They're talking about what can we put together to enhance our life.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
That's why I say graduated. Mm-hmm. Because see, once you graduate, you don't go from 12th grade back to the 10th grade. You don't go to 12th grade to college for no reason. You're enhancing your life. And once you leave 12th grade and you go to college, a lot of those childhood friends or those classmates, you may never run across again because you guys are unequally yoked. You guys don't see life, the outlook at life like that anymore. Some stay stagnant and stay in a small section that they live in. Others venture out and create a section to live in.
I have ventured out and created a section to live in because God knows when we came to Georgia, I didn't know a soul.
You see what I'm saying?
I didn't know anybody. And you know, our decision to move to Georgia as opposed to Houston, as opposed to Austin, as opposed to DeSoto, you know what I'm saying? We took the time to figure out where it was we wanted to go. We did some tailgating. And once we got out here and experienced the love of Georgia and how Black people, how there's so many Black owned businesses out here, how there's so much commerce out here, how there's Black mayors out here, Black sheriffs out here, Black people on the whole board out here. We knew that Georgia was the place for us. We told ourselves within a certain amount of time before Willow started school, we would be in Georgia. We did that. By the time Willow turned 3 years old, we were in Georgia. We were established. We were in this house, the same house. We were here. So I get what you're saying and I respect what you're saying. And, you know, we have these conversations off camera all the time. And you know what I'm saying? It just helps to strengthen me because like I said, you may not care, but we're two different people. You think like a man, you move like a man, you have the emotions of a man. I think like a woman, I move like a woman, I have the emotions of a woman. So I respect wholeheartedly where you come from when you say that you don't care about certain things, but those things that you don't care about don't mean I don't still think about them. You know what I'm saying? But just to have you break it down the way you just broke it down, I wholeheartedly appreciate that. Yeah. You know, and just to take it a step further, just to be a woman who has the type of husband who, if you're out amongst people and one of those people bring up your wife's name and it's in a negative manner, I love how the fuck I love how you check that shit and you don't allow a person to think it's okay to sit there and talk shit about your wife for whatever reason. And then you come tell your wife, such and such had the nerve to want to and thought that I was gonna sit. I just love that I have that type of husband that defends me when I'm not around, because some people are just allow that conversation to go on, you know what I'm saying, and not have the nuts to step up and, oh no, you're not, you know. But I love you for who you are, and I appreciate you being in my life.
Hey, you know, the good book says that when a man and wife cleave to one another, let nobody put it asunder. That means let nobody, I don't care who it is, nobody, that does not have a boundary. It says nobody. So nobody should become in between your marriage. Marriage is sacred. Marriage is a union between a man, woman, and God. And God is the cord or the mortar that keeps you bonded.
Baby Wendell B said, love is just a misunderstanding between two fools.
But you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So right now in the age that we live in, marriage is frowned upon these days. A lot of people frown upon marriage and don't want to be married. They want to be outside.
They want to be in the land. No, baby, I'm happily married. I'm happily married, man.
They want to be able to get fancy, footloose, and free. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the way. Anybody that is married right now, I pray that you stay married. Anybody that is considering divorce, try to work it out. Anybody that is considering marriage, make sure you want to be married and not just be doing it for the looks, just to say I got married, or just to say you spent $25,000, $30,000 on a. I'm gonna say not your wedding, on your funeral, because you're dying if you don't really want to be married. You're dying in that union. So make sure that you want to be married. Make sure that you want to be loved and want to be loved and can love.
And can love. It's not just about
Make sure you want to cherish your partner and that you can be cherished. Make sure that you are able to communicate. And I was talking to a couple of guys like 2-3 weeks ago about communicating. How do you stay married? I say, you got to be able to communicate. I see a couple of times, people say, and that once again, we live in an internet world.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked this one guy, he'd been married 50 years. They say, how? What made you stay married so long? He said, because she got some good pussy. That Negro lied. Because see, that meat ain't gonna get hard after so long. Even medicine ain't gonna help it. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of life.
Mm-hmm.
And when the sex and the physical fades, what do you have? The same thing you had in the very beginning, that mental ability
to stimulate one another. Yeah, that's the truth. And it's like, for a lot of women, I see a lot of women talk about how they want a good man, how they want certain qualities in a man, but in all honesty, and I'm not being judgmental, I'm just keeping it real, they're not possessing those same qualities that they're asking for of that man. A lot of these women say that they want good men. A man got to make this much money. A man got to do this. A man got to do that. A man got to have this. He got to have that. And got you don't even check off half the boxes that you want this man to check off. So how can you hold these qualities that you're looking for in someone if you don't have the same qualities in yourself? My biggest thing that I see with these single women, again, not being judgmental, just being real, because a lot of you heifers go to Facebook and go to Snapchat and go to Instagram and put your body out there, and you put everything out there. If I can get the cow if I can get the milk for free, why do I need the cow?
Come on.
Meaning, so many of y'all let me not even get into it. Let me not even get into it, because y'all gonna crucify me. But at the same time, I'm a married woman. So this married woman did something right to get this beautiful man who's a provider, who's a lover, who's a protector. I did something right to get him, and not only get him, but to hold on to him for these 10 plus years that we've been together.
Hold on.
So with that being said, I also have different women that are married, single, want to be married, that come to me and ask me for advice. I don't never put these people's names out there, but I do give wholeheartedly just honest advice. I'm not going to tell you something that I haven't either done myself or I'm willing to do in order to keep my relationship alive. I don't have no secrets from my husband. I don't go behind his back texting people, calling people, sending them different snaps of different stuff because I know it's going to go away. That's not who I am. My husband's fingerprint unlocks everything in my phone. It unlocks my phone. He has access to my emails, to my Snapchat, everything that I do on social media, he has access to, and vice versa. My fingerprint, my face opens up his phone. His fingerprint, his face opens up my phone. We have no secrets. And when people ask you, what is the key to a healthy relationship? To me, it's not to have any secrets, and for your partner to honestly, wholeheartedly be your best friend. I have met women who claim to be so in love with their husband, but the minute that their husband ain't around, they're crying to one of their homegirls about what their husband's not doing for them. Oh, he sits and plays on the game all day. Oh, if I don't threaten to leave him, he don't do this. And oh, I have to threaten to leave and take my kid in order for him to do this, and that. To me, that's not your best friend, because if that was your best friend, you'd be communicating that to your husband, said best friend, rather than communicating it to your homegirl. What can your homegirl do about your husband being sorry? What can your homegirl do about your husband not being a provider? What can your homegirl do about your husband being selfish? Nothing at all. So if you're not communicating those things to the person that you laying down, giving your body, your mind, your soul, and your time to, what's the point in saying it to somebody outside of the relationship? Ooh. I am the type of person to where I don't care what goes on in this chip. I don't give a damn what goes on in this chip. I don't pick up the phone and call not now nappy head heifer and tell her nothing about what's going on in this chip. If I have a problem with my husband, if I have worries or concerns about the things that my husband is or is not doing, I talk to my husband, because my husband is the only person that can change those things. Ooh. I don't call my mama and tell my mama. I don't call my daughter and tell my daughter. I don't call my auntie and tell my auntie. I don't call my closest associate and tell my closest associate. I tell William, hey, daddy, look here, we need to have this talk. And by the end of said talk, he's not only thanking me for opening up to the things that I'm opening up to him about. He's also in his head as I'm talking to him, trying to figure out how he can change them things and make those things better. Same thing with me for him. If I'm slacking in any area as a wife, as a woman, as a mom, as a nurturer, as a whatever, my husband is able to come to me without my feelings getting hurt, without my pride getting hurt, without my head being hurt, without my heart, mind, and soul being hurt. We are honestly able to communicate with each other, one another, and tell the other one what it is that we see that we could be doing a little bit better for us as a, not only as a togetherness, but as separates to be better human beings in life. And I feel like that's where some people go wrong at, is because once again, instead of talking to your mate, the person that can change it, you go talk to your homegirl who was happy that you having them problems because she thought that you had the perfect relationship anyway.
Ain't no relationship perfect. You got to work on it. The grass ain't green on the other side. You just stop watering it on this side.
Another thing I think that make me and this man's relationship so beautiful, and this is just me personally, and I'm just saying this because in past relationships I've had this issue. We don't go to social media about each other. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if he spent the night in his truck last night. I don't care if he had to go to Tennessee and was supposed to be back at a certain time. He didn't make it back at that time. I don't care if he told me he was going to send me some money. He didn't send that money. I don't give a damn what it is. I don't go to social media about my husband. That's childish. That's immature. My husband doesn't go to social media about me. That's childish. That's immature. That's immature. To me, when you go to social media about your mate, you are looking for a type of attention that your mate is no longer giving you. So you feel like if you put them certain things out there to social media about that person, maybe this person will jump in your inbox. Well, girl, I can do this for you when he wasn't doing it. And girl, wherever he was lacking it, I can pick that up at. Well, girl, I got you here. And girl, you so beautiful. And bullshit. Stop looking for that attention from them outsiders. And you can't tell me that's not what you're not doing. Because if it wasn't the case, you wouldn't be right back with that same person that you then dogged out on social media a week later. Why do you dog them out just to go back to them? That's childish to me, y'all. We are not children. We're not immature anymore, or are we?
Well, let me say this, and we have this conversation all the time. Just because your age says something does not mean that you're mature. Just because you 40, just because you 32, 42, 52, 62 does not mean that you are mentally mature. You know, and then sometimes people don't even know how to get over their traumas, or their past hurts, or they hadn't fulfilled one relationship and completed that relationship,
and now you jump.
Now they jump to the next relationship, and they bringing that baggage in to this relationship. Now it's called compound interest on the problem. You can't do it.
Right. One thing I can honestly say, though, is like I've always given myself time within relationships to not only heal, but to get to know myself and who I am now that I'm outside of whatever relationship. I've always felt that like when you get with somebody and you're with that person for 2 years plus, you change. You're constantly changing as an individual. And what I mean by that is whatever person that you're with, they have things that they have ways that they like things done. So if you're the type of person to where you're not used to doing the things to how that person likes them done and you're a pleaser, you go change those things about yourself in order to please that person and what they like. So when you get out of whatever relationship, you've now changed from the person that you were to who this person wanted you to be. And now you have to figure out who you are, how you move, what you like, what you don't like. You gotta heal. It's too much for you, but as a woman, I'm just being honest.
I was just saying that's
so I have to personally take time to heal in between each relationship before I just go say, hey, I'm gonna be in this relationship, or hey, I'm gonna be in that relationship. Now jumping in on and off meat, that's different. That's not relationships. That's a sexual contact. I've had plenty of sexual contact. I'm not saying that I've been in those relationships. The relationship part was where I had to heal from that relationship.
Did you know that when you have multiple partners that you take on whatever,
a little piece of each one of them,
and every time.
So when I tell you have to heal, maybe now that you're bringing out that part, you're understanding what I mean by taking time to heal.
And did you know that whenever women let men ejaculate,
it goes to their brain.
It goes to their brain, and it keeps a little piece of
each male A lot of women don't know that. That's why they so thrown off. That's why they're so confused. That's why they're so.
And so you have to understand.
That's why them hoes is for the streets, because they don't even understand what they doing when they letting these men ejaculate in them unprotected.
Y'all
for the streets, and ain't no man ever gonna want you. I'm just keeping it real.
We weren't,
not everybody, but some of y'all for the streets, and y'all better off in the streets.
But we weren't taught that. That's the most precious thing that we should have been taught, was more about our sexuality and more about indulging in sexual intercourse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the Black community, a lot of us weren't educated on sex. We were just taught, hey, don't go do this, don't do that, and stay away from this, and then so when you did do it, you automatically you come home and you're shy, you're scared, you don't know what to do. All your feelings and emotions are wrapped up into it. And then we take these things on to adulthood. And even when you have conceived a child and you're young, you take on that scary trait, that unfamiliar trait, and you pass that DNA along to your child. And sometimes it's not our fault as adults that we went through these certain traumas or situations because we weren't taught better. And then it takes so many years for us to understand this and start identifying with these traumas. And at that time, it's not too late, but so to speak, it's going to take it's going to take that much longer to rearrange those things. So a lot of females, a lot of males, they don't know what to do. They just know you get stimulated, and then you go and you diffuse that stimulation. You get off of that sensation. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of our parents, we were born without our father's last name. Hell, my dad didn't even know my full name until like this year. I don't even have my dad's last name. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing to my dad. Me personally, I shoot that to my mother. And, it might make some people go, but it's the truth. A lot of women don't give their children their father's last name out of spite, out of hurt, out of whatever it may be. Maybe it was passed on by their mother that they didn't have their father's last name. So it was okay to do the same thing to the next generation and the next generation.
So who's going to be responsible for breaking that generational curse? Because that's a generational curse.
Once you understand and have come of knowledge of that, it is up to that person to break that curse.
Meaning the person
because you can't go back.
Meaning the person who doesn't have their father's last name, or meaning the person who's constantly not passing along the father's? Who are you saying is responsible for it to break the curse?
The person responsible to break the curse is the woman. The woman she holds the child, and when the child comes into this world, the woman is able to say to physician, to
the
hospital,
person that comes in
to who comes in to do your vitalities, and sign off. And me and you have this conversation all the time about making it mandatory or mandate that when you're at the hospital to do a DNA test, so people will know who their child is, people will know who their father is, and you won't have a lot of hurt, heartache, and pain, and people having financial responsibilities
to a child that's not even theirs by DNA. See, this is what I told my husband, and this is my true feelings, is I feel like he just stated, but I'm just going to go into it in my own words. I honestly feel like as a woman, it should be mandatory to get a DNA test after you have a child. It should be mandatory to go ahead and get a DNA test before that baby can leave the hospital. Main reason being is because I know a couple females who know that these people ain't these kids' daddy, but they'll put them babies off on them kids, on those men so fast because they want whatever attachment to said man. So they tell that man that that's their child. To me, that's evil, that's nasty, that's vile. It's the biggest form of deception that a woman can carry, because why are you allowing this child to call this man daddy, and you know that this ain't this child's father. So to me, to clear up a lot of that, and there's a lot of men that are on child support right now for kids that ain't even theirs DNA, because you signed a birth certificate, or because you were there at birth, or because you said that it was your baby. Now you're on child support for a child that's not even yours through DNA. That's horrible. To me, the right people need to be held accountable. And I place blame on the woman, because the woman is the one who took the time to lay down with whomever they laid down with, to catch whatever seed, to bear that seed and carry that seed and bring that seed to life, right? And so then after you've done all of that, while you're pregnant, 9 times out of 10, you having sex with multiple people. And so you're so so if that's not the case, hold on, let me just cut my thought real quick. If that's not the case, then how do babies come into this world and got this nigga's last name and this nigga's not their DNA if they're not having sex with multiple people?
I'm just saying.
But you would hope not. And the realities of the world and what happens in today's society, those are two different things. So I get that you would hope not. I would hope that tomorrow it's not gonna rain. But I live in Georgia, so I know that it's 9 times out of 10 it's gonna rain tomorrow. So with that being said, I still want to finish my thought. It's nasty of you women to go on and tell these men that these are their babies, and you know that that's not their child. That's wrong on all behalves, because what if that child grows up and the father has 10 to 12 kids, and you didn't let this boy know that this is his father. He grows up to fall in love with his sister, his daddy's child, because you weren't woman enough to tell that child that this was his real father. Now they have a child, and that child comes into the world with deformities or with DNA issues, because you were a fucking liar. That's not okay. I don't feel like that's okay. In no sense of the word is that okay for you women to keep doing that. Any woman that's watching this today and y'all think y'all pregnant right now, and you already went and lied to one nigga and told him that he was his baby, go find the real baby daddy, because you know who your baby daddy is, and tell that man that, hey, let's go get a DNA test so we can make things right. Because for y'all to continuously, y'all got to break that cycle. What's wrong with y'all and y'all's head to think that type of behavior and that carrying on is okay? So now you got a set of grandmother and grandfather that'll never know their real grandchild, because you're a liar, because you're a deceiver, because you like to hurt. You're probably carrying so much hurt from yourself. Now you're passing that same hurt onto your kids, because you're not giving them the proper opportunity to get to know their real father and their real father's family. Y'all are sick in y'all's head. Stop it. It's got to stop.
Lord help them. May we bow our head to pray for them. Lord, please take this ungodly deception and unruliness and everything else that comes in this darkness. Just take it away from them, Father God. Just I plead the blood of Jesus over them, and may they heal in due time and come out with the right words to say and conquer their fears. In your name I pray, amen.
Amen. I want to pray for the kids that have been a victim of the situation, because the mother, she's going to continue to go on and have babies and keep doing the same thing. That's her routine. That's who she is. But for the children, I more so sympathize with them, because they had no say in the matter. They had no choice in the matter, and they was born into that evilness and into that deceit. So I really say to the children that I'm here for y'all. And if y'all ever want to talk, I'm writing a book about it right now. Come to me, give me your story. And even if you don't, a lot of y'all, I know y'all story. So I'll put the story in my book anyway. I'm not going to use your name, but the situation is definitely going to be in the book.
And adding on to that, people have to know their lineage. People need to know who sired them in order to know where they come from. Because how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you come from? And myself dealing with an identity crisis, because not knowing where I come from for the longest, it takes a toll on a person, on a man, on a woman, on a girl, on a boy. It takes a toll. And then when you're told that certain people that you have procreated with, they ain't no good. I mean, what sense is that? They was good enough to lay down. They was good enough to go in raw. They was good enough for you to hold that baby for nine, almost 10 months. Because we're no better than the next. No matter what someone says, we're no better than the next. We all come from dust, and to dust we may go back. So with these people out here, and I'm talking for myself coming up. That's all my family heard was that man ain't no good. Don't fool with them folks. Well, them is my daddy. That's these people daddy. And then when people die out, they don't have any family because they wasn't fool with the other side of the family.
Can I ask you, how did it make you feel when you were young, being told that your dad wasn't no good and don't fool with him? How did that make you feel?
It made me want to go gravitate to my daddy. And see, some people don't have that strong head. Some people don't have that strong heart. Some people are easily misled, you know. But for me, I went and rode my bike to go find my daddy wherever he was at. You know what I'm saying? I went and talked to my dad, you know, even though I'll be pissed off at him sometime about some of the things I've heard, about some of the things he's done, that was still my daddy. And he'll tell you to this day that I would ride my bike and find him, hook up with him, and he would teach me about who my people were best way he could.
I love my mom so much because no matter what her and my daddy went through, my mama never oh my God.
I'm sorry.
You so unprofessional. But anyway, my mama never talked bad against my father. And it wasn't until I became an adult that I learned the truth about what happened within their relationship. And I'm not going to share that with social media because it's not my story to tell. That's my mom's. And I have enough respect for her to allow her to tell her own story. But I just appreciate her for, even though she went through a lot of hurt and just a lot of hard times with Walter. She never talked about Walter in a negative light to me. She never talked about Walter in a negative light to Jason, which is my younger brother. She would always tell me and Jason that she wanted us to form our own opinion about him and have our own opinion about who he was as a man and as a father. I love her wholeheartedly for that, because I'm not going to lie to y'all. Had my mama been the type of mother to downplay my dad and talk down against my dad because of the bond me and my mom shared, I would have hated my daddy. I would have hated my daddy's side of the family based upon what she told me and the things that she poured into me. But she poured nothing but love into me about the man, even though she had the hardest of times with the man. So I just appreciate her for being the type of person and, so, just having the spirit and the love that she had within her heart to not want to turn me and my brother against that man. Same thing with Randy and Derek with their father. She never talked bad against their dad to them. And I just love my mama for that, because I see a lot of y'all are bitter, y'all are angry, y'all are upset. And so instead of allowing your child to get to know their father, the feelings that you have towards that man are the same feelings that y'all are pouring into these kids. And to me, that's unfair. You should give that child a chance to get to know their father on their own. If the father is making the effort to be in that child's life, I feel like y'all should allow them, that child and that dad, to bond and allow them to form their own relationship, as opposed to you pouring all the bitterness into the kids because of whatever you and that man went through. Because 9 times out of 10, you're just telling the bad side of everything he did, but you're not exposing what you did to him to make him act a certain way with you, if that makes any sense.
And he probably wasn't a bad dad. He just probably couldn't do what that woman wanted him to do at that time. Maybe he didn't have the finances, or maybe he wasn't able to, he didn't have a car. Maybe he wasn't able to make that show or make that game or something, And that's a lot with our race. A lot of times these women be hurt and they say, oh, your daddy don't want us no more. No, it's not that daddy don't want us no more. Daddy and mama just don't have a relationship no more. They have fell out of love, or maybe it was a one-night stand. But that father, I know many of fathers my age have tried to be in their children's life, and women keep them from their father. Or the father has moved on to another woman, and that woman don't want him around her kids with this woman. It's always some type of little kitty stipulations, and that's not cool. It's not cool at all. You have to be amicable in relationships. You have to have understanding. And if the thrill is gone, it's gone. And I understand that now. Even
it took you some time to get there.
Of course, because even within my relationship, my relationship was like the internet before the internet come. Everybody knew about my relationship. Everybody had a mouth in on it, or say in on it. And everybody always had something to say, but their families and their lives and their situations was no better than mine. But they wanted to pick and choose how they will perceive you. And that's not cool. And that's why I live so privately now. And I keep my people out of my business. Like you said earlier, I don't call home and talk to nobody about what you're doing or not doing. That's the best thing for me, because that helped ruin my first relationship, my first marriage, is putting my people in my relationship and thinking they had so much to say. You have nothing to say about my relationship. Nothing, not even my children. If my children don't like it, well, tough titty, bad milk, because you're going to get grown and you're going to be out on your own, and somebody probably going to be trying to tell you about your relationship, and you ain't gonna have it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it is. I pray that everybody get healing this year.
Man, ain't that it?
I pray that everybody tackle some of those demons that they have been facing and encountering. I pray that we all get some love that we so deserve and be able to allow someone to love you. Take down that shield. Take down that barrier, because there's love out there for everybody. And that's what the world needs, is more love. We don't need no more fighting. Hell, that's what we wake up and see fighting every day. You see fighting on the internet, you see more response to a fight than a marriage.
Mm-hmm. Or a baby shower, or just a gender reveal. You get more. It's like the negativity gets more attention than the positive should.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way of the world, and the world that we're living in today. They rather see your downfall than to see you be lifted up and make something out of yourself.
So make it a point today, y'all, to uplift somebody. Not only uplift yourself, uplift somebody. Tell somebody they look good today.
You're beautiful. You look good today.
Oh, because you're beautiful. Looking ass. At any rate, Seagraves says, baby, we back in this joint, man.
We back in that thing, y'all. We back. We promise to stay consistent for our audience, man. We got to grow our audience. We got to get more subscribers. So if you felt anything that we said today, if you liked anything we said today, please feel free to share this broadcast with your people. Get them to like and subscribe so that we can be a part of the algorithm. And yeah.
And I would like for you guys to be interactive with us. Put some questions out there. Talk about what you want to do. You're never too old to change careers, to change paths, and to come up in this thing called life. With that being said, we love y'all. Seagraves says, and we are out. Bum, bum, bum.